What's going on, everyone? Matt with Motivational Monday, number 3 here on your Brains Gym. This is going to be, episode 3. And today we're going to be talking about goals and goal setting and how you need to set smaller goals for the bigger ones so that you can take things one step at a time. Like, like Rome wasn't built in a day. When a skyscraper or a building or a house is made, it's not all just done at once. I guess sometimes that stuff is pre-made. I guess if you want to say like mobile homes and stuff like that, and nowadays with the tiny homes, you can just drive it out there and plop it down. But still, in order to make that, there were very specific steps that were taken to get to the end goal. So you have to know still what your end goal is, where you're going, but it's almost like you want to work backwards in a sense. You want to break it down step by step, day by day, or week by week, no matter what it is that you have say it's a financial goal, or losing weight, or putting on weight, and trying to lift more in the gym or something like that. You kind of want to break that stuff down week by week. Like I said, we'll talk about the financial goal for a second like that. Say you have a financial goal of saving up $50,000 to either just to save up $50,000 or to put that money aside, and you want to use some of it for a down payment on a vehicle, or what have you. Let's just say you have a goal of $50,000 that you want to save. You have to you can't just set the goal and be like, all right, well, I got this goal set, and now that I wrote it down, and now that I kind of I know that this is what I want to do, I wrote down my goal. It's not just going to all of a sudden happen for you. There's small steps that you're going to have to take. Maybe that's getting another job, another part-time job, or starting to invest. But I guess you could then break it down even further than saying, well, to start investing, you have to learn how to invest. But I think you kind of get the idea, the gist of what I'm saying. You can't just set a big end goal, like having a giant skyscraper that you want to have built, or trying to lose weight. I'll say one thing at a time. So, a giant skyscraper, these companies that build them, they have very specific blueprints, floor by floor, layer by level, or layer by layer, excuse me. And these things are kind of on a time constraint, right? Like you have, okay, so in this month or in this week, this is what we have to do to make sure that we're staying on track, right? So say week 1, start doing the leveling for the building, for the foundation, and then once that's done, week 2, you have the plumbers come in and get put in the pipes wherever the sink is going to be, the bathroom is going to be, the kitchen is going to be, and then they have to tie it all together and then run it down into the city tap. And then once that's done, the concrete guys come in and they lay the slab, and then the carpenters come in and they start to do a little bit of the framing, and then the electrician come in like the next week. It's not just all done at once. And if it was, it would be a madhouse. It'd be a mess. Imagine you have someone there with a bulldozer trying to level the ground, while the plumbers are trying to dig and lay their pipes in that ground, and then the concrete people at the same time that the plumbers are trying to put their pipes in, they're trying to put concrete while the carpenters are cutting wood. It would be a madhouse. There's a very specific reason that things are taken one step at a time, week by week, have you month by month, or whatever it is, whatever your end all goal is. So we'll say weight loss. I'm not by any means like a nutritionalist or a dietitian or anything like that, but if you're feeding yourself, if you're constantly feeding your body, say McDonald's, Zaxby's, any fast food, and then you go out to Longhorns every single night, or O'Charlie's, or I think you get what I'm saying. If you're constantly eating this kind of crap, I'll just say it how it is, crap, junk, It's bad for your body. Not only are you going to look but you're also going to feel bad. You're going to be lethargic. You're going to have trouble concentrating and focusing, and staying awake. Honestly, you'll be groggy and stuff like that. So you have to say, I want to lose 30 pounds. Well, let's break it down. What are some of these steps that I need to take to lose 30 pounds? You can't just set a goal of losing 30 pounds, continue to, stay up all night until 12 o'clock or 11 p.m. and eating junk food, eating just really, really bad foods. I could sit here and go on about how much crap and junk food that they sell in stores, and there's restaurants and fast food places out there. I could just go on and on, but you have to start to break it down. You got to be like, okay, I can no longer, I want to lose 30 pounds. So I can no longer be staying up until 11 p.m. or 12 o'clock midnight eating, ice cream or eating just bowls of sugary cereal all night, and then go to bed like 20-30 minutes later. You're going to wake up, if early at all, and just feel like crap. You're going to feel like you didn't get a good night's sleep. You're going to be groggy. So, start to break it down. Okay, I got to cut out staying up late and eating right before I go to bed, and eating really bad foods right before I go to bed. Maybe if that's hard for you to just cut that out like that, maybe switch it out with fruits or something like that. You could eat fruits right before you go to bed, but you're going to have to cut that stuff out. You can't continue to eat McDonald's all week and go out to Taco Bell and Zaxby's and Wendy's and Arby's every single day for lunch, but then later when you get off work, go to the gym and run and think that you're really doing something. If you even have the energy to do that from eating all of that stuff all day, you're not really going to get the results and be able to put in the work that you need to. You're going to have to, like I said, start taking it one step at a time. So start eating better, start going to bed earlier possibly, and waking up earlier, and go to the gym first thing in the morning. That is one thing that I personally like doing. I'll stay on the topic of like fitness and stuff for a second. I'm sorry, I was looking for a water. My mouth is getting a little dry, but I'll stay on the topic of fitness for a second, and an end all be all goal, and taking one, a couple steps at a time. I am very, very, I guess I have a very small frame, regardless of what I was about to say is like, I'm kind of underweight. I probably am underweight for someone my size. I say size height wise, but I understand that, and it was because of kind of my work habits. It was because of my work habits and how I was working. I was in a warehouse for 8 to 10 hours a day, completely busting my hump, and I would just work through breaks for some reason, not eat. And then I would just wait until I got off. And when I would get off, I didn't even have the energy to really want to make and prepare myself good food. So a lot of the times I would eat badly. And as a result of that, I started to, lose weight, and I went from, I used to, like, think about this, back in high school in 2015, I used to be around like 150 to 160 pounds. I am now currently like around 136. Now, when I started really going back into the gym and stuff like that, and I started really eating healthier, just something personal I wanted to do was like a little, like, I don't even think you could really call it fasting or like intermittent fasting, but I would wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym pretty much right away, get myself get myself a little victory right away, right at the start of the day, and I would go run. And I did this for 2 weeks straight, where I would wake up at 5 a.m. and I wouldn't eat anything until around 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I started to, obviously, but I was very lean. I started to shed a little bit more weight. Probably most of it was just water weight, but I started to shed a little more weight, and I could see the results. because I was trying to, I was taking the right small steps, and I started to see the results of eating very, very, very healthy compared to what I was eating, and working out every day and running every single day, running up and down a mountain about probably one way, maybe I think it's like a 1.3 miles up. It might be more, it might be less, I'm not sure, but I'd run up and down it every day after going to the gym. And I could physically see after just a couple weeks results of taking some small steps to get to my bigger end all be all goal. And that was very, very motivating. It is so motivating. So when you take your big goal, break it down into these smaller goals that are, a little bit easier to accomplish if you're disciplined and you stay on top of whatever it is that you're trying to do, you will see results. And that is very motivating to keep going and then set another small goal. So what I did is, after kind of just, like I said, it was just a personal thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of practice a little bit of fasting, I guess, where I would, like I said, wake up at 5 a.m., not eat anything until 11:30, 12 o'clock. I would eat one huge meal, and then another maybe smaller meal around, say, 6:30, 7, 8 o'clock, and then I would go to bed 2-3 hours after that, wake up at 5, do it again. And that was honestly the best I had ever felt physically and mentally, I swear, in my whole life. I felt so good doing that. Not only could I look in the mirror and see some physical results, but I had the feeling of just being so much more energized, focused, and stuff like that, and concentrated on what I was trying to do during the day. And so now I was like, okay, I can easily shed that off. So now I'm going to, easily put it back on and get to my target weight that I want to be. And a buddy of mine who knows way more about this than I do, he was telling me that probably what I experienced, because I went down to around 125, 126, and within a week or so, I think a little bit more than a week maybe, came back up to what I am now, like 136, 137. And he said that's kind of called what's known as like a rebound effect. So probably a lot of the weight I was shedding off maybe was a little bit of fat, because I was doing a lot of cardio in the gym, but he was saying it was probably mostly water weight, which, that makes sense and I agree with. And I instantly put that back on. But now, I'm trying to eat 4 to 5 more square meals a day. And as before, when I would look at myself in the mirror and not be pleased with, what I saw physically and also mentally, that's another thing, self-image, that we're going to start to talk about on this channel. But I would see that and I would be like, okay, I need to eat more. So I would just try to eat more, but it wasn't eating the right stuff. And so I would just get discouraged, because I was trying to take big leaps and get to an end goal without kind of breaking it down and doing the little steps, the one thing at a time kind of deal. And now that I've started to do those things, and I've been doing those things for over a month now, over 2 months now, I think it has been, since I've been back in the gym every single day. I am so beyond hungry now. Literally, I could eat a massive meal, say, this is usually kind of my breakfast, 5 to 6 eggs, bowl of cereal, a thing of yogurt, some breakfast sausages, and maybe also a bagel. And that's just breakfast. And like I said, I am not that big of a guy. I don't have that big of a frame. I'm 136 pounds as of this morning. But taking the small, goals, right, kind of figuring them out, writing them down so I can get to the end all be all goal, is allowing me to see results physically and mentally and be able to, feel different. And now that I've been doing that, like I said, I am starving all day, every day. And now, whereas before I didn't think I could be able to eat enough to put on the weight that I wanted to put back on to get to my target weight that I personally want. I would be eating the wrong stuff. I was way overworking my body and not giving it what I needed. So it was just a bad combination. But now that I've broken it down kind of correctly, and I'm taking the right small steps to get to the end all be all goal, things are, it's all coming in line, it's all coming together. I am now hungry enough to be able to eat the amount of calories that I need to put on the weight, and that comes with working out every day. Running, which I've cut back to now, I'm only going to run maybe once or twice a week. But enough of like me and like, I guess, my fitness stuff. I was just trying to use that as an example, because once you have your big end all be all goal, you start to break it down into the smaller steps. These little things are the kind of the easier ones that you can do step by step, week by week, or day by day, whatever it is that you're doing. You can see those results, and that is so motivating, no matter what it is. Fitness, financial, relationship goals, mental health goals, no matter what it is, you start to do these smaller, easy things instead of trying to tackle the big, goal, the big project, maybe the end all be all thing that you want to do. You have to break it down and kind of figure out the how. You can't just kind of leave it up to chance and just be like, okay, well, this is my goal, I wrote it down. People say, writing down goals is a very good, powerful thing. It is. But I think personally, the reason it's very good and powerful is because it's kind of like holding yourself accountable. Well, there's steps that you have to take to get to those goals. And one of the best things you can do, and do I have the book? Yeah, I have it right here. I love this book. This book right here talks about goal setting in one of the early chapters, I think it is. I think it's chapter 2 maybe. Yeah, I believe it's in chapter 2 it's chapter 2. It talks about goal setting. And that was one of the first, I guess it wasn't one of the first places that I heard about setting smaller goals for your bigger goals, but it was a very good, it just went very, a lot further in depth. And it did a good job of explaining the power and why behind setting smaller goals for the bigger ones. And like I said, no matter what it is that you think you want to accomplish, a goal you have set maybe for yourself, or a goal that you're not setting for yourself because it seems too big and daunting, set it for yourself. But sit down and write out smaller goals of how you're going to get to the bigger goal, of how you're going to accomplish it. And once you start to do those little things, say you have five smaller goals, 4 or 5 smaller goals set for a big goal, and they're a week or a month apart. You give yourself a month to do step 1. You do a month to do step 2. See what I'm saying? At the end of that month, if you're disciplined enough, which everyone has discipline, you just have to be disciplined enough to discipline yourself. And also having someone to hold you accountable is also very nice. But once you do those things, once you complete step 1, you're going to be so motivated and be like, oh my gosh, now I had 5 steps to get to my end all be all goal. One of them's already done. And I did this, I know I can do it. So now I know I can do this one, and I know I can do this one, and I know I can do this one and this one, and then boom, your end all be all goal, you're there. It is so motivating. It is so powerful. And also something in the book that it talks about is don't feel guilty at all to reward yourself with something for completing, maybe these smaller goals for yourself. Don't, I guess, do it financially beyond your means. Like if you're setting a goal for, say, weight loss, and you lose 10 pounds and you're trying to, shed off 50, and, step one is in like a week, or we'll say a month, is lose 10 pounds. You're going to the gym, you're running every day, maybe if I'll say, life's guilty pleasures, if you will, if you're disciplined enough, there's nothing wrong with, and if you really like sweets but you had to cut them out to do that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with, at the end of that month, you go and get like an ice cream sundae, or you get a thing of ice cream at the store, like one of the little things at Ben and Jerry's, and you eat it, to kind of like reward yourself. But at the same time, you're going to have to be disciplined to not slip back into, going out and getting a Ben and Jerry's thing every single night, because then you're just going to easily put that stuff back on. Maybe that wasn't a good example for trying to lose weight, but we'll say like a new pair of shoes or something like that for the gym, or a new outfit for the gym. That's a way better example, because sure, we've all heard, look good, feel good. That is so very true. Or maybe go get yourself a new haircut, or like I said, like a new outfit for the gym, a new pair of shoes at the end of your like month, and you shed off 10 pounds. Because, having that reward will give you a sense of like good feeling and gratitude, but just also being able to reward yourself is a very powerful thing that is also talked about in this book for goal setting. There's absolutely nothing wrong with rewarding yourself, small rewards for taking the small steps for the big goal. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with, once you, complete your goal, say it takes you like a year to shed off, you want to lose 50, 60 pounds, save up also throughout the year some money. And when you lose all that weight, take a trip down to the beach and show off that new body that you worked so hard for all year. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So I hope this was motivating, maybe to some people. It's Motivational Monday. That's the purpose of this. Setting smaller goals for the bigger ones is so motivating. I cannot express this enough. No matter what your goals are, it is so motivating to be able to sit down and write out some smaller, one step at a time kind of goals, and be able to actually see those get completed week by week, day by day, or month by month. So I'd really advise you to do that if you have some goals that you're struggling with getting completed, or you're struggling with even setting some goals for yourself because you think that the end all be all goal is too daunting. Set it, write it out, but also sit down and write out small steps of how you're going to get there.